Hi guys, so welcome to my channel. I'm Ramsey and this is my first video. So today we're going to just get right to it. I don't really know how to do intros. I'll get better at this as we go. We're going to get right to it and we're kicking off this new series called Building Smart AI Workflows with n8n. Well, not called, but on that. Of course, each episode will have a different name. And whether you're here to automate your business or, just explore like all this stuff that's happening out there, you're in the right spot. So, we're going to get right to it. And basically, for me, a huge influence was this article here by Anthropic called Building Effective Agents. And what really caught my eye about this was their idea of using simple composable patterns, to and breaking down complex problems into neat categories. So it kind of like gives us a fresh lens, and a clear sort of paradigm for applying automation, AI automation, to like real business challenges. And that's sort of exactly what we're going to do in this series, and specifically in today's episode. As you can see, there's so many different AI workflows here. There's prompt chaining, routing, parallelization.
Bruh.
I butchered that one, didn't I? Orchestrator workers, etc., etc. So we're going to start simple. We're going to start with prompt chaining. Okay, so what's prompt chaining all about? Well, in the Anthropic article, as you can see here, it basically decomposes a task into a sequence of steps where each LLM call processes the output of the previous step. And then you can add programmatic checks, like they define gates and whatnot, in any intermediate steps to ensure the process is still on track. Actually, prompt chaining would work very well with another concept called human in the loop. So instead of a programmatic gate, you could have a human in the loop. But we're not going to look at that today. Let me know if you want me to make a separate video showing prompt chaining with a human in the loop, and I'll do that. Today, we're just going to look at the simplest version of prompt chaining. Well, let's talk a little bit more about it. So in the Anthropic article, they explain that rather than overwhelming an LLM with like one giant prompt, you can sort of break a large task into smaller sequential steps. And you can think of it like, say you want to write a blog post, right? First, you ask the AI to generate an outline, a nice detailed outline, and then you use that outline to have the AI write the complete post. So in short, it's about making these sequential LLM calls, and each one builds on the previous one by breaking down the task into bite-sized subtasks. So this method makes the whole process more accurate and it's super manageable. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. I'm going to jump right into it. We are going to be using n8n. As you can see here, I have a workflow already and I kind of ran it before this and it's working. If you want, you can always get n8n on the cloud version. There's a cloud subscription. And it's very, very affordable. So the very cheapest tier is the free, the starter plan actually, but you do get a 7-day free trial, and the 7-day free trial gives you, I think, 1,000 workflow executions. But as of now, the cheapest version is $20 a month, and it gives you 2.5K workflow executions. They don't measure by operations, they actually measure by the entire workflow, so not the operation of each single node. And you can see their prices actually went down. You can also install it. So there's self-hosted n8n, which is what makes it really, really popular, because if you can put it on a server, you have your own instance working in an infinite number of workflows. That's actually what I'm running right now, my community version. So as you can see here, this workflow is very simple. I'm starting off with a chat trigger, and then from there, I'm sending a message to OpenAI via the messenger model node, and then that's just for creating an outline, and then writing the blog post. And then there's a little bit of conversion here because I'm going to send the article via email. Though I will come to this, the conversion part and the delivery of the article can be done in many ways. But without further ado, let's get started. So let's see. We are going to start with, say, new workflow. I have this hosted on a server where like it sort of like scales down to 0 when it's not in use, and then gets back up. So it's a serverless setup. It wakes up once you start using it. Yes. So I just need to sign in. That's okay. And there we go. All right. So we're going to create a new workflow, and here we could name it n8n agents prompt chaining. I already created something else with prompt chaining, so just trying to look for a different name. Of course, you can name it whatever you want. But the idea, like I said, as you can see from the article, is that you have some kind of input. You have an LLM call, which gives you an output. You may or may not have a gate to sort of like do a check. But then the idea is the output goes into the next LLM call and the next and so on for as many times you need, and then you get an out. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to apply this to the creation of a blog post. So the first thing would be to have a trigger. And for this, I'm going to have a simple chat trigger. And just like that, we can leave it as such and click save. Now, in the chat trigger, you would give the topic you want the LLM to write an article about. And so the first thing you would do is you would go to the AI, so advanced AI right there, and open AI. And we would pick messenger model because that's what we're trying to do. This is a simple way. We're not making any agents, just a messenger model node will do. So there we go. And you need to connect your credentials. So to do that, you would go to platform.openai.com and you would check out for your API keys. So in the platform, once you create an account, you can create an API key and come and copy that here. I'm not going to show you how to do that today, but let me know if you would like. I'm actually going to leave a video in the description with instructions, link, sorry, in the description of instructions on how to create your OpenAI key, API key. So once you do that, you basically enter new credentials, you enter the API key here, and so on. I already have one right here, so I'm just going to continue. Now, which model do we choose? You have a slew of models once you're connected to OpenAI. You can choose pretty much any. I like to go, GPT-4o, and sometimes I'll go to the latest version I can find, but you've got a lot of options. Some of them more expensive than others. So for this demo, we'll just go with GPT-4o. There we go. And for the prompt, I'm actually going to copy, because I've already done this, and I'll share the prompts below. I'm going to copy my prompt from the other workflow I'd done. And it's a very simple prompt, as you'll see. It's about generating a detailed outline for a blog post about whatever topic you feed it. So you would have something like that. And then here you would feed it the output of the previous one. So just to test it, let's come here and open the chat, and we are going to say remote work trends. Okay. And if we run that, you will see that the whole workflow is executed. Of course, it's not going to give me anything. It's going to say, could you please clarify the specific topic, etc., because I didn't tell it what the topic is. But the idea of me running this initially was so I could then pull this output from the previous node right there as input. And this is part of the beauty of n8n, is that you can just do this dynamic variable thing where you just take the outputs of one node and put them in as inputs of the next node, which makes it very good for prompt chaining. And there we have it. We actually have the article, the article topic right there. And now we hit save. And if we say press play again on this node, we should see that it comes out with an outline. Any minute now. There we go. So there goes like, certainly below is a detailed outline for a blog post. You can actually see it in table form better, and as you can see, it wrote the outline in Markdown, which is pretty much par for the course for these LLM models. That's part of the reason why I have the conversion to HTML node later on, but we'll get to that. You can, of course, improve this prompt, like tell it not to include these words, like certainly, like just give me the outline, I don't care about the intro, etc. But this is a good start. So from there, the next node would be another OpenAI node. So message a model, same thing. And I'm just going to pick GPT-4o again, the latest version I can find. And now for this one, we are going to use a different prompt. Let's see. So using the following outline, write a full blog post. Ensure that each section is expanded into a well-developed paragraph. And then I'm just going to paste the outline based off of the input from the previous node, which is in this content key. But let's do that. So there we go. Now, as you can see, for each of these fields, you either can have it as fixed or as an expression. An expression allows you to inject code in it, like JavaScript. So if I have it as an expression, all I have to do is click on this. The content key is where the output from the previous node is coming from. And then drag it in there, and I should have the content. And now if I click on test step, I should be able to get an article. I hope you guys are following this. And it's doing the API call, so any minute now we should start seeing results. Great, perfect. So you can see now that it generated the whole article in JSON, and that's good. And then next, since the article is in Markdown. Next, since the article is in Markdown and I want to send it via email, what I do usually is I get the Markdown to HTML converter, because emails do like email clients can understand HTML. So if you have an article written in Markdown, which is what you're getting from the LLM, and you wanted to maintain the formatting, so like the headings, the bold and stuff, in a simple way, you can convert the Markdown to HTML and then email it to yourself. And then from your email, you can, take the text and take it wherever. There are other ways, though I'm having a bit of trouble finding them. I've looked into the community notes, so if anyone can help me with this, I'd love it. But there should be other ways to take a Markdown document and convert it into a PDF while maintaining the formatting, or a docx while maintaining the formatting, or a Google Doc while maintaining the formatting. I'm yet to find one, but I'm looking around, because this would help, because once you have that, you can upload it directly to a Google Drive folder, which kind of helps with just like the general organization of your work. But if you know how to do this, please let me know in the comments, and if I find out, I'm going to make a video about it soon. So anyway, for now, I'm just going to do Markdown to HTML. That's in the mode up here. And the Markdown will be whatever content we're getting from the previous node. So I'll just drag that there. Interestingly, I could either have switched from fixed to expression, or I could have just dragged, because when I drag the key in here, it automatically switches to expression mode. What is the destination key? The default is data. This is where the finished HTML document will be. I'll just call it article, actually, with a capitalization, so it's easier to find. And of course, there's lots of other properties you can add. I won't go into them, but you can always read the docs to just get a feel for that. And if I test this step, you're going to see the article right down here in the article key. There you go. As you can see, we have it here. We have it here with all the HTML showing. Okay, so now once we have that, we've pretty much gone this far. The next step would be to send it via email. So you have a Gmail, and you can do so many things with the Gmail node. They It's really, really well done, well fleshed out. But we're just going to go for send a message. And here again, you can connect to your Gmail account. I'm actually just gonna try it because I think I changed my email password, so it might not connect right now. But I can do the OAuth 2. This is the community version. If you are using the cloud version, it would have a little logo here saying sign in with your Gmail. So if you're using the community version, what you need to do is create an OAuth app in Google Cloud in order to get the client ID and the client secret. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of this. I'll leave a link to n8n's documentation on how to get that connection. But if you guys want me to make a video about that, let me know. Otherwise, I think I've already set up the client ID and everything. I just realized, even though I did change my Gmail passwords, because it's from a Gmail app in the cloud, I should be connected. But that's the idea behind credentials. For a lot of these nodes, it's just figuring out how to connect. That is, once you do the connection, you can, that is if it's not an HTTP request, that would be a bit more complicated. But once you figure out the connection for most of them, you can easily do a lot of this stuff. Then, you just need to know the fields. So resources message, operation is send. I'm going to send it to myself. So, I'll have maybe, right? And the subject, now the beauty of this is that you can be really creative with this stuff. So if I put in an expression, for example, I could have article, and then let's say the title for the article could come from whatever topic I input in the chat triggers. I could just drag that there, and automatically it's going to say an article on remote work trends or whatever. And you can be really creative with this. But for the actual content of the email, since, oh yeah, by the way, you can pick the email type. It's HTML, so you can choose between HTML and text. So I choose HTML, and then for the actual email, I'll just go back to the output of the Markdown node and look for the article key right here, as you can see. And I'm going to just drag that in here, and we have the entire article. And now if we test this step, let's see. Provided authorization grant or refresh token is invalid, expiry book does not match. Okay, so this is simply because I have because I changed my passwords. So I'm just going to fix this real quick and then get back to you. Okay, and I'm back. So I've just fixed that real quick. And now if I test the step, we should get a result. So the email's been sent, and if I actually click, you will see that the article came in. The evolution of remote work, a bunch of sections. There's even this little bit here that says this email was sent automatically with n8n, and you can remove that very easily by coming to the Gmail node, coming to the options right there. And let's see. Is this the Gmail node? No, this is not Gmail node, sorry. The Gmail node. There we go. Coming down to the options, and then the n8n attribution. So append n8n attribution, you just untoggle that, and you save, and it should now send without the n8n attribution. In fact, if I just try to run this node individually again, we should get the article now, but without the n8n attribution at the bottom. And so that's pretty much it. So the idea here is that you could do this with anything. You could do this with your marketing copy. So for example, you could have one model make the marketing copy and then have another model do the translation to different languages. You could do it with, say, the way you write SOPs. You can have one model do the SOP in bullet form, and then the other one expands on that. You could do it a lot of ways. And with the delivery, there are lots of options. So you could convert it to a PDF or save on Drive, or send it on Slack, or even post it directly to WordPress. I just use a Gmail note to sort of demonstrate this concept in a simple way. And this isn't just a cool tech demo. It's basically, imagine automatically generating customer emails, marketing content. I've explained that, or even technical documentation every single day. Prompt chaining lets you automate these processes step by step, which drives efficiency for your business and reduces the hassle. And if you're looking to streamline your operations and need some expert help setting up these smart automations, just let me know. I'm here to lend a hand. I'm going to leave my LinkedIn and my other contacts in the description below. And that's a wrap. So for our first episode, we're done. So today we focused on prompt chaining straight from insights in Anthropic's Building Effective Agents post. And it's just the beginning. Coming up in future episodes, I'll show you how to implement other powerful patterns like routing or parallelization and much more, all using n8n AI agents. So if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment with your questions or suggestions. And let me know what you'd like to see next. I'm excited to help you unlock the full potential of automation. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.